Hi, I'm Lucy from Sew Essential and I'm here today with a roundup of the latest indie patterns we've added to the site. They're all available on our site and there's links below, and there's also a link to our weekly newsletter where you can get a weekly dose of sewing inspiration. So let's get started with the patterns. The first one is by Closet Core, and as you would expect, looks effortlessly chic, cool and put together. Her designs are always very sort of stylish, modern, contemporary, and there's always lots of thoughtful little design details, and they're usually made with stretching your sewing skills in mind. So the Jo dress and jumpsuit is no different. Both versions have got a V-neck which is finished with a bias bound slot seam, and that comes down the centre front to a waistband which looks like it might have a pleat in it. Then there are pleats above the waistband and below the waistband, but the real showstopper of this pattern is the croissant sleeve, however you say croissant. But yeah, the croissant, the pastry, we all know and love. It's got a sleeve that is all about volume and structure and shape and is really striking. It looks like there are pockets, and then the jumpsuit has got a tapered leg that looks like it hits just above the ankle, or you can make the skirt, which is a relatively straight skirt. The centre front is finished with what looks like the slot seam again, but then opens out into a vent or a V. And it looks like it'd probably be about a maxi length. This pattern runs up to a size 20, which is a 46 bust, 39 waist and 48 hip, and they suggest using stable fabrics, mid-weight wovens, so that you can create that stability and structure with those dramatic sleeves and the rest of it. So I definitely think our linen cotton mix fabric would be great for this. That's a plain linen cotton mix. I've used it to make shorts before. It's gorgeous, sews up really well. We do that in a range of colours, so I'll pop a link to that below. But I also thought the jumpsuit would be really fun sewn up in this cotton print fabric. It reminded me, if there's any Sewing Bee fans out there, Mia in the Sewing Bee this year made a jumpsuit for her mom in a really bold print, and I just thought that would look really cool sewn up in that. But if you're more of a plain fan, definitely check out the linen cotton mix fabric. The next pattern I want to share is by the Friday Pattern Company, who are one of my favourite pattern companies, and I'm actually wearing one of their designs today, so I'll just quickly show you that before I go on to the next one. This is the patina blouse by the Friday Pattern Company. It's got this lovely pointy collar, it's a button down, it's got lovely floaty sleeves that are gathered into a cuff, and then on the back there's a yoke. But yeah, really fun, nice, easy to make blouse. I think it's got some little gathers. Yes, it has gathers at the sleeve head as well. So yeah, I really like the Friday Pattern Company designs. There's a couple that I've made and I definitely want to give this one a go. It is the Donny shirt, and everybody has been raving about this on Instagram. I've seen so many versions popping up. One of the great things about the Friday Pattern Company is that their size range is really inclusive. So this pattern goes up to a 7X, which is a 60 bust, 53 waist and 63 hip. It's a simple boxy pull on top that's designed to be a workhorse in your wardrobe apparently. It's got no darts because it's got that boxy top shape. It's got a lapel collar and a patch pocket. It's got a yoke on the back with gathers, a short sleeve, a little bit of top stitching detail, and just really easy to wear with jeans or a skirt, or they even suggest laying it over or under a dress as well. And as I say, I've seen loads of versions of this cropping up on social media. I definitely would pair it with a pair of shorts as well on holiday. And this is for woven fabrics again. So I thought that, again, our linen cotton mix would work really well for that. But also we've got this really pretty cotton print, which I thought would be nice sewn up into that blouse or shirt or top or whatever you want to call it. It's a very, very dark navy. It looks like a black, to be honest, to me, and then it's got these little pretty green flowers on it, and I thought that was a really nice choice for the autumn and would look great paired with some jeans. And the next pattern is also a Friday Pattern Company pattern. This is a re-release. It's the Avenir jumpsuit. So I think they maybe have just increased the size range, and that's why they've re-released this. So this one goes up to the same size as the previous pattern, but it's a really easy to sew jumpsuit with an elasticated waist. The gathers create any shape on this. So it's got an elasticated neckline, which creates gathers there. Elasticated waist, there's gathers at the waist. And then it's got either a short flowy sleeve, or it's got a billowy full sort of sleeve that's gathered into elastic at the cuff, and then it's got a modern contemporary wide leg, and depending on what fabric you make it up in, you can make it a really sort of casual day look, one of our plain linen cottons for example, or you could go for something like a nice crepe and do a block colour, like I think our John Caldor Prestige crepe in red would look great. Why didn't I pick that one for this actually? That would have been really cool. Definitely check out the John Caldor crepe fabric Prestige in red, because this, if you made this in that and then paired it with like some really sort of funky shoes and a really nice bag, maybe gold, bit of a statement, I think that would make a really nice evening version of it. But the version I thought that would look really cool is if you made the short sleeve version in another pretty cotton lawn, but it's got that dark floral vibe to it, which is very much going to be in on trend autumn winter this year. Again, dark florals are back, so yeah, I thought that would make a great version of the Avenir jumpsuit. And then the next pattern I wanted to share with you was the House 7 Regalia blouse. So I just love like this blouse in the autumn. I just love a nice blouse with some pretty details to wear with my jeans. I just feel like at the weekend quite often, if I'm like going to athletics and doing stuff like that with the kids, I'll end up in like a sweatshirt or a t-shirt. So in the week I like to wear a blouse or a shirt, just so, you know, get a bit of variety in my wardrobe, feel a little bit more dressed up. The Regalia blouse would tick that box really nicely. It's got a yoke across the front with a little sort of mini turtleneck, I would call it. It's just like a little neckband that stands up slightly, and then it's gathered underneath the yoke, so it's nice and full and sort of got plenty of ease in the main body. So I think it'd be really easy to fit. You haven't got to worry about fitting the bust because the gathers create all the shape across the bust. It's got a cute little puff sleeve with gathers at the sleeve head, finished with a cuff. And let's just check. Oh, and then another lovely little design detail. Oh, so pretty actually. I didn't realise that till I turned it over. But that yoke there is also a yoke on the back, and that same design detail of the front, the gathers under the yoke, and then that sort of full bodice that is continued onto the back. But then there's also a little keyhole and ties to tie a little bow at the back. So pretty. Long sleeve version as well, and you can add a little waist tie if you want to. And I just think it is all about those pretty little details. If you're going to be wearing trousers or jeans, quite simple and straightforward, add a pretty little blouse with lots of details and it just looks lovely. So that is that one. It comes in, runs up to a size 20, which is a 47 bust, 39.5 waist and a 50 hip, so relatively size inclusive there as well. Recommended are lightweight woven fabrics, cotton lawns, cotton voile, cotton gauze, all that sort of thing. I thought our 7-berry cotton would look really pretty sewn up in that blouse, and again, beautiful autumnal tones, these lovely plummy colourway. I just thought would look great sewn up into that pretty blouse with the yoke and the gathers. Oh, paired with some indigo jeans, that would look so nice. Look at this against the indigo, very pretty indeed. So that's my choice for that one. And then finally, we've added a number of Jalie patterns to the website as well, but this one caught my eye. It's Jalie 4346, the Caroline top. The great thing about the Jalie patterns, there's 28 sizes in this one. Most of them are the same. We sell them all on our site, so do check them out. I think there's over 100 designs on the site. But they run, a lot of them run right from kids sizes right through to adults, so you can make things for the whole family just by buying one pattern, which is really cool. But this is a boxy t-shirt top with a raglan sleeve, and finished with a cuff, or yeah, like a chunky hem or a cuff. You'd use cuffing on it or ribbing, but then it can also be made as a jumper dress with a deep sort of turtleneck on it, pockets, and yeah, long sleeves. So a couple of different options. I think the boxy t-shirt would be a really useful staple to have in your wardrobe, but then the cozy turtleneck jumper looks really comfy and cozy as well. And I do think the little girl looks really sweet with it over leggings and little baseball style boots. I think that looks really good. So this one's to be sewn up in knit fabrics, and the fabric I chose for this one, I thought I'd probably make the boxy t-shirt and do it in this lovely bold red Suzette stretch crepe fabric, which is a John Caldor. It's got a mottled sort of very subtle textured print on it, but it's got a good amount of stretch, and also red is the colour of autumn winter 2023. It's very much the colour that everybody's raving about, so I thought, oh, that would be nice to kind of tick that trend box with that colour. So I hope you've enjoyed that today. Everything, as I said at the start of the video, it's all available on our website. There's links to all the patterns, all the fabrics below, and if you like what you see today, please like and subscribe, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.